Welcome to FortiKast, the official online show of PAREF Northfield's official school publication, Fortibus. Join us every Friday as we explore different issues, discover the truth, and share good vibes in our coming episodes. Today's episodes, we ask, are leaders born or made? Please welcome your host, Lance Valencia and Atom Pesa. Okay. Yun. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to FortiKast. I am your host for today. Um, if you've been following with the recent episodes, you know that Lucas is usually the main host for this one. But now I'm your host but for now at least, I'm your main host for today, Lance Valencia. And with me, as always, our fellow producer of FortiKast, Mr. Atom Pesa. so
Good afternoon, everyone.
mm. How are you, Pesa? How's it been?
It's been actually a good week. There's a lot of things that happen in terms of like the workload we got. Some days we got a lot of workload. Sometimes we didn't do too much, but it's a good way to start the second term, and I'm hoping it stays the same. So yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes. Maraming workload. Walang gagawin online class. But yeah. So first of all, I just want to give a recap on what has happened this week. So it was club day this Wednesday. I hope that you guys were able to go to your club, to your respective clubs. I hope you guys had a great time. And we also had this collaboration with Rosevale, if you guys didn't know. I think was it only for grade 12? I'm sure if it was only for grade 12, right?
It was also for grade 11 in our
Oh, for
school.
grade 11 as well. Okay. Oh, yan ang po pala si Sir Linus. Hi, Sir Linus.
Yes, hello. Good afternoon, everyone.
Uh, but yeah, going back to what I said, yes, we did have a collab with Rosevale for grades 11 to 12, and it was quite an experience, if I must say. And but yeah, for the ones who are watching, how was your week, guys? We just want to know, just another casual broadcast with the team here, just another casual stream. So but yeah, um, without further ado, let's transition to the InFocus. So allow me to transition to today's InFocus. All right, so welcome to our InFocus section of the stream. Together, let's unbox what our fellow student leaders know and learn from their insights or experiences on what leaders really are and what their role is for their respective schools. Sir Linus, may you please welcome our guest for today?
Okay. Uh, so let us welcome our guest for today. We are so happy that they can be with us today from other middle schools of PAREF. We have Paolo Mesa. Paolo Mesa is from PAREF.
Good afternoon, sirs.
Paolo is from PAREF
Westbridge.
Westbridge from Iloilo. We also have Dave Villegas. Hello, Ian.
Hi, Sir Linus.
Hello. Ian is from PAREF.
PAREF Rosevale, Mindanao.
Wow, PAREF Rosevale from Mindanao. So welcome, Paulo. Welcome, Ian. And welcome to FortiKast. Welcome to our weekly podcast. So how are you, boys? Paulo.
Let's start with Paolo. Yeah.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Paulo, president of the Westbridge Student Council, and today I'm just really grateful to be in one of the top podcasts in the Philippines right now, FortiKast. So I'm just really grateful to be here.
Okay, before I forget, sorry. Okay, let us welcome the students. Okay. From PAREF Northfield, of course. Last but not the least, let us welcome Lucas Bonifacio. Sorry, Lucas.
Good
Ano?
afternoon. Napakagandang
Sorry.
hapon sa inyong lahat. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for having me. It's my second time being a guest in this show. I've been watching your show. It's really great, guys. Keep it up. You guys doing great.
Nasanay kami kasi si Lucas na siya yung nag-aasikaso ng mga bagay na ganito.
Good
Okay.
afternoon, good afternoon.
And yeah, we also have Ian. So how are you, Ian?
Feeling good right now, sir. Classes just started, so we're getting this strange feeling of back to school. So yeah.
Yes, okay.
Siyempre sir, wag natin ikalimutan si Lucas. Lucas,
Yeah.
how was your day naman, Lucas? Ano naman?
Ayan, maraming salamat 'no. So, good afternoon sa ating lahat, sa mga nanonood, sa mga ating mga taga-subaybay. Good afternoon, welcome to FortiKast. And 'yan, napakaingay na aking aso dahil excited sila sa ating episode natin ngayong araw. So, I'm doing great. It's a Friday and I hope to relax and unwind as a guest today in our wonderful show. So I also hope that maganda ang discussions natin for today because I think Ian and Paolo, our respective student councils, we've been working together for quite some months now. Oo na. We've been working together for quite some time now, and we have, I guess it's safe to say that we are the greatest of friends, and we're here to share with you some insights we have on leadership. No, so again, thank you for having me.
Thank you for having me. Parang di ka... Tatawa ako. Di ako sanay si Lucas na guess. But yeah, of course, we want to focus on our in focus. So I'll ask the first question. So for you student leaders, I would like to ask the first question. What made you decide to take on a bigger role as a student leader, of course? Please, let's start with Paulo.
All right. So basically, growing up, I was this b-boy kid. This meant that I would dance profusely and publicly. I would dance in like malls, in churches, and even in movie theaters.
Mm.
But like, what made me continue to dance? It's besides the fact that I was young and like I didn't really care about what other people thought of me. Is that whenever I danced, um, I saw the people like who saw me dancing. I saw their smiles,
Mm.
and somewhat it made me feel different in the sense that like it made me happy. So afterwards, I entered Westbridge and I was in fourth grade. So in Westbridge, basically in Westbridge, we have this tradition wherein every Christmas we get partnered up with our adopted school, which is Nabitasan Elementary School. So like every PAREF student gets partnered with an elementary student from Nabitasan. So I get partnered with this kid, and then for the whole day we have fun. We get to know each other. We play fun games, and then basically at the end of the program, each PARF student gets to hand like a take-home gift to their partner. So as I was about to give my take-home gift to my partner, I looked into his eyes, and like he didn't really say anything, but his eyes spoke of happiness. His eyes was like shining pretty much, or like glaring. At first I was scared because I thought he was gonna cry. So at first it didn't really mean that much to me. But like at the end of the program, everybody was trying to go home. I was waiting for my driver to fetch me, and then eventually I see this kid at the end of the street, my partner. He comes running to me, and then he says to me, "Yeah, thank you, manong. Hamadama, giga salamat. Mayaran ako may pagkaon sa man nga balay." So basically, this translates that, "Thank you so much, kuya. We finally have food in our house." So with that feeling before, like seeing people happy from me dancing, and from this experience with this Nabitasan kid, it made me feel different, in the sense that my small act of like kindness, like I didn't even know I was doing it for others, made others happy. And like I envisioned myself making others happy. So afterwards, I found out that the student council was the one who organized this program. And so like I finally realized that as a student, I have the opportunity to make others happy by becoming a leader and changing others for their best versions. So that's it.
Wow, very nice story, no? So, maganda no? Our student councils in PAREF is not just involved within the school community, no? We have
Yeah.
this outreach program, and we can see that, no matter how little, we are making a difference. 'Di
Mhm.
ba? So little na pwede namang wala namang effect, pero 'di ba lagi ko sasabi sa mga students ko, no? Everything we do is just a drop in the ocean. But if you don't do it, that drop will be lost forever. 'Di ba? So that little
Box!
will be lost forever. So
Grabe.
ano ni Paolo. Sige
Mm.
si
Very
ano.
inspiring.
yung journey naman ni Ian kung bakit siya nag-decide maging leader.
So my journey started in high school already because when I was grade school, it was my classmates who really runs. Then when I started in high school, I was like very very lost of place because it was still my first time. So since my grade 7, I was very active in our student government. So for this year, I ran as our our CSG president, and because this year was our silver anniversary, and mostly my whole life I've been in Rosevale, so I wanted to do so much things this year, kaso lang may COVID, so sayang yung plans, and yeah, that's what keeps me determined and motivated to lead Rosevale.
Okay.
Yes. No, pero kahit may COVID, no, pwede pa rin mag-organize ng
Oo naman, sir.
alternative.
Oo naman.
So we support you dyan sa ano sa
Good luck,
plan mo.
good luck.
And of course from our very own council president. So yeah, how did you become the SU president, Lucas? No, so ang alam ko lang no, for 2 years in a row, student president si Lucas. Pero hindi ko pa rin alam yung story niya behind.
Yan, so napakagandang tanong yan, no, Sir Linus. Thank you very much, no, Lance. Thank you for having me ulit, no. Can't thank you guys enough. Pero I think it's pretty different yung aking leadership journey. Kasi as far as I remember, the first time I was engaged in this leadership type of activity was back when I was grade 1. Back then, I was the vice president of my class, and the president of my class was Agu during that time. And then for me, parang wala lang, ganun lang yun, you know. So, syempre, bata ka pa. Tapos before, ang pinakauna kong na-experience na leadership event or leadership skill is yung sabihin sa mga kaklase mo, "Gimingay!" Ganun. Ako yung batas noon sa classroom namin. So, ako yung tagabigay ng mga incident reports, wag kang maingay. Ganun. Friends tayo, pero wag kang maingay. Okay? Ganun yung mga una kong experience sa pagiging isang leader sa classroom. Pero this all changed when I was grade 7 actually. Grade 7, I was the class president also. But then, that was 2015, and a group of teachers decided to bring back the student council. So they called all the grade 7 up to year 5 to one room, the AVR. Miss ko tuloy ang Northfield UC. Going back, they held a sort of voting as to who will be the next student council. Kasi just that everybody knows, no, just to share with our dear audience today, na the student council did not start na hindi siya nagsimula nung nandun pa ang Northfield. Parang it has been a while since nagsimula siya, and then later on namatay siya, and then binalik siya, revive siya no 2015. That was my year. And after that voting, from that day, from that room, I was one of the members of the student council. I became the finance officer. And then later on, I was able to acquire a lot of experience. And then later on, I started running for secretary. Then later on, by God's grace, I was given the role of president. So parang siguro yung tanong na are leaders born or made, siguro yung with my experience alone, masasabi na leaders are born, no? Kasi parang hindi sa pagmamayabang po, no? Hindi ako nagyayabang, mahibing, because I believe we are all leaders, no? But I think thanks to Northfield, nabigyan ako ng magandang opportunity, and here I am now. So, sana hindi kayo na-boring sa sagot ko. Ang ganda nung sagot nilang dalawa eh. Yung akin, parang nagyabang lang ako sa harap niya. Anyway.
No. Okay, so ito maganda yung tanong na ito, no. So for you personally, hindi ito hindi walang halong tawag nito,
Filter.
parang Miss Universe question, pero what is leadership for you personally,
Yun.
diba? Or what is a leader for you? A leader is someone who is what? So let's start with Ian.
A leader for me is someone who lifts not only himself but also people around him. Him or her. Uh, a leader is someone who really sacrifices themselves in order to prioritize his or her members, because being a leader, it takes so much duty and responsibility. It takes so much virtues to become a very good leader. So yeah, that's a leader for me, a virtuous person.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. So, a man of virtue is a leader for Ian. How about you, Lucas? What is leadership for you?
Maraming salamat for that, no, Sir Linus. Actually, for me naman, well, I think for me, a leader is a catalyst for social change. Someone who is a role model to all, but also, just to latch on, no, siya din yung isang tao na selfless. Kumbaga, handa siyang maging catalyst for social change, but handa rin siyang mag-inspire ng ibang mga tao na alam niyang magiging mas a greater leader than he is. So just what Ian said, no, lifting other people up, no. Ba, naglag yung English ko dun. Sorry. Pero yan, for me, a leader is a catalyst for social change. That's for me.
Wow.
Gana ako sa
Word.
catalyst for social.
Okay. Sige,
Pakamat ako
how
sa
about
ulo.
Ayan, si Paula na. What is leadership?
All right. So for me, basically, it's similar to the answer of Ayan and Lucas. For me, being a leader is about like bringing out the best in others. Like I get a lot of misconceptions about being a leader, where you're like the boss or like the emperor. You get to force other people to do that, and they would listen. But to me, like leaders become great not because they have the power, but because of their ability to empower others for their best versions. So overall, like with my own experience, to me, leadership is a privilege because it is my passion to see others happy and to see them grow as human beings. That's
Wow,
it.
very great answers from all of you, no? So, yeah, tama si Paulo, no? A leader is different from a boss. A boss only commands, while a leader sets an example. And, the followers will follow the leader not because of his power, but because of, the respect that they give to that leader. So, very uh, hanga talaga ako from young men like you as a teacher. You know the what you call this, the concept of a leader. No, Lance? So Lance, ano pa ang yung mga katanungan mo?
Siyempre, sir, yung leader na, siyempre, sir, lahat naman tayo dito, di ba? We can all be leaders, is what I can tell you guys na. Lahat naman tayo may sari-sariling leader sa buhay. But I want to ask this question. Actually Lucas answered this already, but if he could expound to it more, then that would be great. But are leaders born or made? So let's start with Paulo. Are leaders born or made?
Um, for me, leaders are made. Like leaders aren't born from like a rich family. They aren't born from like the Aquino family or the Duterte family. Leaders aren't like pre-made to be tall, handsome, smart, and all that. I believe like the true test of a leader is how well he functions in a crisis. Like if a leader has intention for himself, like for the betterment of himself, then I do not consider him as a leader. But if the leader has intentions for society, then he is a leader. So basically, a leader is made whenever like life throws a certain difficult situation for that certain person, and it's up to him to have that clear intentions whether he wants to do it for himself or to do it for others. So yeah.
Wow, nice.
Mahusay. Mahusay.
Mga
Nahawa ako kay Sir Pietas.
student leaders sa Northfield, no, very articulate, no?
I think
So,
what Paulo mentioned that I really like is like how well he manages in a crisis, because that's definitely like what I would see, and like if he knows how to handle well, if he knows how to stay calm despite the situation right now, then I would most definitely call him a leader because at alam mo yung buti pa siya ano siya, hindi siya nagpapanik, alam mo, just keeping his cool, parang ganun. So how about you, Ian?
For me, a leader is both. A leader can be both, but I wouldn't use the word made, but I would use the word forged, because a leader that is born, maybe that leader has talents in knowing how to manage, how to see other people, how to treat them properly, how to manage them properly. And a a forged leader is someone who is put into a situation which uh they are they were really forged, that so hard to explain, that they were like they gained the talent to they gained the talent to lead other people because of the experience that they have gone through. So yeah, for me, leaders are either um born or forged.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, almost sa totoo lang, forged mas maganda, in my opinion, mas magandang word yun, forged. Our leaders born or forged. Ikaw naman, Lucas, di ba? Ito si Lucas. Sinagot niya kasi, born. Di ba, Lucas, sinagot mo born? Sige. Pwede, can you please expound on ba't mo yung nasabi?
Next question na, nalugi ako dun. Joke lang. Joke lang. So, grabe, thank you for those wonderful answers. Grabe, amazing talaga, hearing these from my fellow friends, my fellow presents, just really amazing, no? So, for me talaga, leaders are born kasi I think that pag sa buhay kasi natin, parang sino ba ang nagko-control ng mga gusto natin, ng mga, alam mo yun, from the simple questions na ano bang kakainin ko ngayon, ano bang schedule ko ngayon, parang sa tingin ko talaga, we are all leaders. Kasi tayo yung nagko-control ng mga gawain natin eh. We are the ones who deal with other people. And we are leaders in our own different ways. That's why I believe that, leaders are born. Kasi we are all leaders, no matter how you see it, no matter how you like it. Lahat tayo leader eh. Kahit balibaliktarin mo yung mundo, kahit balibaliktarin mo kung ano. Yeah, so that's for me. That's why I think leaders are born or made. Just to allow me to crack a joke, but this question, are leaders born or made? This awfully reminds me of a Nike T-shirt, no? So parang yun yung mga linalagay, no? Parang Kings, parang yung mga T-shirt nila LeBron. So kami po ay nananawagan sa Nike, baka naman po pwede nyo kaming sponsoran. So thank you for that. That's thank you.
Okay. So, ayun, no? So, ako, may takeaways, tama yung mga sinabi niyo. And especially yung kay Pao, no, na walang monopolyo ang pagiging leader, di ba? You don't need to be born from a certain clan. Well, the reality in the Philippines is different because our political dynasties, di ba? They hold to that power as long as they can. And they do not want to lose that position. Yes, no, pero yun nga, young viewers like you, so you will be the voters in the future. So take heed of what these young leaders are saying. There is no monopoly when it comes to power. So choose your leader wisely. That's my takeaway. Okay, next question.
Sir, would I give my insight on?
Okay, Lance, sige.
Okay. Me personally, I personally think that leaders are forged, as what Ian said, forged. Because in my opinion, I guess this can also relate to like just greats, honestly. Just let's say one of the basketball greats in the whole world, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. Ayan, Jordan is the GOAT yan. Sabi po ni Supreme X, Jordan is the GOAT. Sana po yan? Ayan. Jordan is the GOAT. Oh, diba? But what I really want to ask here is that where was he before he even was the goat? He really, what I'm trying to say here is that he really did like work hard for that title to be called as the greatest of all time, to be such an icon in NBA history. And why? It's because he was parang ang hirap to explain eh. Parang nag-practice talaga siya araw-araw para lang gumaling sa basketball. At pwede natin 'to i-relate sa mga leaders na hindi lang sa tingin ko kasi parang hindi lang basta-basta magiging leader na automatic lang. Alam mo 'yun? Yung sinasabi ko naman na they really need to go through something before they can be called as this, so what you call leader. Yun lang yung palagay ko.
Yes.
So leader is in my opinion is forged.
Yes, oo, tama no. With yung mga trials and challenges na pinagdaanan nila, it makes them who they are, di ba?
Yeah.
It makes
So,
you great.
sirs, ito may mga nagko-comment dito about their questions. But I think it's nice if we can ask our audience, no? So, our audience today, kung nandito pa kayo, kindly comment down below. Are leaders born or made? Kayong bala, kahit type nyo lang born, kahit type nyo lang made, or yan, basta sana you guys are enjoying our episode today. So, I think we can check out this comment, no, sir? Sir Lines, go ahead.
Yeah. Sabi ni Migs, everyone is born with the potential to be a leader. Tama. They should first find it, then make themselves the leader. The potential is different from person to person. Wow, what a nice opinion from Migs de la Cruz. Thank you, Migs. Okay, how does your respective councils practice leadership in your own school? So, ano kaya yung mga initiatives, as leaders and as the council as a whole? So, how do you, lead your community? Okay, so sige, let's start muna kay Lucas dito sa ating especially ngayon, no, lilipat na tayo ng campus. Lucas.
Yeah, no, that being said, grabe, lilipat na nga ang campus. And siguro, I think, just to share with the audience, that I think Northfield has got to be one of the pinakakaunti. No, we are the little school that can, sabi nga ng ibang mga interparef na kalahok sa interparef. No, we are the little school that can. And I think, 200 to 300 students, yun yung community so far sa Northfield. And for us naman, I think one of the key features or key objectives of the Student Executive Board for the past few years is more on the student empowerment. Well, lately, parang it's pretty hard to engage in those things kasi nga quarantine, it might be hard, no? We're all going through some tough times. But in terms of student empowerment, we would really love to hear and see different and ignite the sparks of different mariners all over the school to engage in these wonderful leadership activities. Kasi as mentioned by Sir Rentoy, one of our moderators, sabi niya sa amin before that he believes that the next people sitting down in the Malacanang are coming from the different PAREF schools. So one of the main objectives that we have is to really empower our students through student seminars. We involve them in outreaches back then, and we also have great leadership seminars, our student seminars. Nawala yung trail of thought ko dun. But also another main objective of the SEB is more on collaboration and really igniting the flame on collaboration. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but our dear viewers, for the past few months, Ian, Paolo, together with the other student councils who will also be featured on the next coming weeks. Next na yung ibang mga student leaders natin dyan from PAREF. We have been collaborating to do various projects. We had the online rosary rally. We also had a mass for victims of COVID-19. And we had our student panel discussion back in the Jesus-centered live conference. So that's it from us. So we really try our best to ignite the flame so that others may feel, have their own taste of true leadership Northfield. So that's it from Northfield.
Okay, student empowerment. Okay, Paulo.
All right. So, like me and my council, we were elected before the school year started. So, entering the school year, we saw the school year like as a huge, huge challenge, especially with COVID. the pandemic and all that. But in the school, all students like aim to become Christian gentlemen. There's even like a joke, like they're saying, "You're doing this, but you should be a Christian gentleman." So, but anyways, we try to revolve our most of our projects around that, on becoming a Christian and a gentleman. I think this last December we had a talk wherein there was a social media on how to like control social media addiction, and obviously with the GCL, which is held by Northfield. Thank you. Where we talked about Jesus centered life, and because in our school we have like this virtue of the month. So basically every month we post a virtue of the month wherein like students have to practice that virtue. So it can be either responsibility, faith, study, and etc. Also, one thing I wanted to add in our council is that what we wanted to focus more on is the social interaction between new students and old students, building relationships with higher years and lower years. So we came up with this project where it's called Kuya Talks. I think Northfield has this as well, um, wherein like a higher school year, a higher year student gets to sit down with one lower year student or like a grade one student, wherein they get to talk about life, Minecraft, games, Roblox, and all that. So yeah, and one more thing I'd like to point out, one of the most important key factors we'd like to focus in the council right now is just to have fun. Basically, like not having any stress, making sure that we all have the same vision. Because if we heed towards that vision, like it's all about fun, like because you guys know that the people around you have the same goal as you. It's all just fun and games, basically, pretty much. And at the end of all like these activities from the council, what we really wanted to focus is to inspire others to become a leader, like to show other students that being in the council, like being a leader, doesn't mean you have to be all serious and all bossy. You can also like continue to have that Christian gentleman aspect in your lives, but you can also continue to play Valorant with our Valorant tournament this week. You can also talk with your higher year students, lower year students. Basically, in the end, all I wanted to do is to forge my fellow Voyagers to become the next leader, to become the next president, if not better than me. So yeah, I just wanted all the students in Westbridge to become a leader and to create a change in society. That's all.
Okay. So ayun, nice no yung yung partnership with an older student sa younger student kasi mas umaan yung community, mas nagiging close, no? Nakita namin sa Northfield kasi kami talaga sobrang liit namin. So walang talagang uh, yung mga older students ay talagang they communicate with the younger students, and ayun, mas masaya kasi sa ibang school hindi yun possible eh. Di ba? Parang if you're a high school, you only talk to the high school students. If you're a grade school, di ba? You don't talk to the higher. Pero I don't know sa ibang pero sa Northfield, that's what I like, no. Close yung parang one community, parang one big classroom talaga yung school. Okay. Si Ian naman. So ayun, so yung how do you practice leadership sa Rosevale?
In our council, we practice leadership by creating activities that help develop our fellow students' skills. We created committees, we created different clubs to which those our fellow students will join and develop their skills. So aside from clubs, we also created activities. We created like filmmaking to those students who wants to act or to produce some films. We also have songwriting competitions to those inspiring musicians, and this year we would have a we would have started a model UN within our school, just to like expose my fellow students from uh w- uh w- diplomacy, and yeah, in international diplomacy. And within my student government, I think the best thing that I did to help my student, my fellow leaders, is to create a constitution. This was a constitution which it is something that me and the vice president were a different one, and a council was a different branch. So we have a balance of power, of which the council would like make like such rules, laws. They would make, they would really spawn. So yeah, we would practice these kinds of activities like seriously, so that they would be able to experience and improve the skills of what do they want to become in the near future.
Okay, so that's good actually. That's a very like nice thing if you would ask me. It's just constantly like giving up activities just for them to just to hone their skills. I think that's definitely like one big thing and you can improve on. And from there you can check if you're up to become the leader that you're going to be for your respective school. So I want to ask this question. Gusto ito rin talaga gusto malaman eh. Pero has this experience, like being a student leader, has this experience, like as a whole, helped you become a better person? So let's start with, syempre, si Lucas. Lucas, ay ano?
¿Qué
has,
pasa? Well, for me, it really really changed me kasi nag-iba yung outlook ko sa buhay. So it's pretty weird to say this, no? But back in grade 6, parang nandun pa rin ako sa stage na nakikipaglaro pa with my friends, ganun. Pero at some point, it came to my mind din na parang, anong papel ko sa buhay? Parang nagtaka na rin ako kung anong gagawin ko sa buhay ko. And then later on, grade 7 came and nabigyan ako ng opportunity to be part of the student council. And 5 years later, I'm graduating as one of the last batch of Northfield QC.
Yep.
Sorry. 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 Sorry.
Wait. Kunya,
Sorry. And it really changed my perspective in life, and it really opened me to new heights and to new avenues. I met a great amount of people, and I never knew that lahat ng mga ginagawa ko now were possible. So I really owe it to Northfield and to the student executive board. Kung hindi sa kanila, I mean, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be someone who has these principles. I wouldn't be this virtuous man. I hope I am a virtuous man. I don't know. I think I am. And ayun, so sa tingin ko talaga nakabuti siya sa akin kasi nagkaroon ako ng purpose sa buhay ko, and that purpose for me is I am a leader, and it just goes on from there. So that's from my.
Ang ganda naman na I am a leader. O yan, si Supreme X naiiyak na siya sa mga sinasabi nyo, guys. Sumosobra na daw, nakakaluha na daw. But yeah, please allow me to feature some comments here from Sir Rehencha actually. Great answers, gents. This goes to show that leaders are either born or forged, as there are leaders who can attest to their being born or forged. Thank you so much, Sir Rehencha, for staying here and watching FortiKast. Here from Maya De Castro from PAREF Rosevale, actually. Siya yung president, right? Go guys. Yan, sigurado naman alam niyo naman kung sino yan.
Hello, Maya.
See you soon.
Ito rin si Sir What. Shout out lang to Rosevale, my favorite school in Cagayan de Oro. Si Sir What. Ito Lucas, ito Dax. From Sir What Lodi ko si Lucas. Syempre, si Lucas ang talaga ang pambansang Lodi.
Sir John, what? Maybe you can share it with us. You mentioned a while ago your favorite school in Cagayan de Oro is Rosevale. No, maybe you can share with us your favorite school in Scout Gandia. We'll be waiting for your comment. Thank you.
Wala na, Lucas.
Wala na.
Ay, meron. in their field.
Hindi pa
In
nga.
their field.
Tama, tama.
Okay. Sige. Si ano, Ian.
Yeah.
What was the question again? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Nag-feature kami
Sobra.
ng question. So okay lang. But has this experience as a whole helped you to become a better person? Like being a student leader. Did you get that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
It actually did impact my life because last year I was not a student leader for like just last year, because when I was grade 10 I was a student leader, but when I was grade 11 I had no position, so I was like very carefree about what's happening in the CSG that time. So when I came in, it is also the time when COVID struck. So there was so much things going through my mind, like, oh my gosh, how about my activities that I would like to hold for next year, especially that it's our silver year. So what I did was I really made my plans adapt to COVID. So this was a real challenge to me. And after the planning, this is also where JCL came in. And I was like a newbie of the PAREF uh president. So I was like a new guy. So I was like really shy. So I had to I had to cope with them. So I had to adjust with them. So yeah, so they've been very good friends. They've been very supportive. We really support each other. So yeah, this is the impact of this year as a president was really big for me. As in, I learned how to manage my time. My I know how to balance my work and play. So yeah, it really changed me as a person.
Wow, nice to hear. And if you are surrounded kasi with better, I won't say better. If you are surrounded with great person, nakakaano rin yun sa'yo, no, na you step up, di ba? Kahit bago lang si Ian, tapos napansin niya ng JCL, wow, ang ano ng mga leaders. So, he step up, di ba? Yun yun eh, parang na-inspire ka, di ba? Kaya surround yourself with persons who inspires you, tapos magiging ganun ka rin, di ba? So, yeah. So they help you to grow as a person. Okay, lastly, Paulo.
For me, one of the main aspects of like being a leader is social interaction. Because your goal, like as a leader, is to change society for the better, and obviously you have to talk to different people. So, like talking to these different people, you get this different aspects of life, like where their background, where they came from, how they transition in their life, and like to me, understanding and like acknowledging these different aspects of life pretty much made me grateful for my own life, grateful to my family for like working their butts off just so I can go to PAREF Westbridge, to my classmates sometimes helping me in my studies, to my teachers. Like pretty much this experience helped me become grateful for life, and it pretty much molded me into become like a person that I didn't see myself like when I was in grade six, like I wouldn't see myself where I am right now. So this experience has really helped me a lot, and pretty much it helped me create like what vision I have for the future and what truly is my true purpose. So nope.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Ang gandang sagot. Lance, do you still have question?
Actually, sir, there is this one guy. I think his name is Louis. But yeah, he or she, actually, I don't know, but he or she asked a very wonderful question. It's right here.
Yeah.
May I ask how you guys deal with the pressures of being a leader? So yeah, I personally want to know from you guys. But yeah, let's start off with Lucas. May I ask how you guys deal with the pressures of being? Because for sure naman may pressure, 'di ba? Kasi ikaw yung head, ganun, blah, blah, blah.
Tama. Thank you for that question. No, to kay Louie, maraming salamat no for that wonderful question. Well, uh pressure siguro i-relate ko na lang din yan dun sa pinakaunang episode ng FortiKast in which we discussed about stress. Sir Linus mentioned back then that there's this thing called maaring stress, we perceive it as bad. Pero ito tumatak talaga takin to Sir Linus. You mentioned that there's this thing also called good stress. And for me, yung pressure na natatanggap mo sa pagiging student leader, yun yung good stress na natatanggap ko. And for me, how I deal with it is siguro living a stoic life. Ewan mo if that makes sense. Pero I read up on this concept before. It's called living a stoic life. And that meant na parang mabubuhay ka ng walang pakialam. Yun yung nakikita kong, yun yung naintindihan ko sa concept na yun. Pero I want to switch that concept of stoicism to the concept of really knowing what kung ano mga dapat mong kailangan gawin. Parang you need to uh, siguro see kung ano ba talaga ang kailangan mong gawin, ano kailangan mong gampanan sa buhay. And as a student leader, gaya nga nasabi ni Ian kanina, yung balance mo between work and play, doon natitest yun eh. So for me, as a student leader, nakikita ko na parang I always make sure to check kung ano muna dapat gawin. So here in PAREF, I know we are all virtuous men and women. And the virtue of discipline, the virtue of having a tight schedule, nandun na siguro yung sagot kung paano ko I deal with the pressures. Parang I just know when and when not to strike. I hope that made sense, no? And if ever the pressure is really pulling me down, gaya ng anong kanta ni David Bowie and Queen, no? Under Pressure, parang minsan talaga you just have to acknowledge na it's there. And then work your way out and save the situation, as we always say in the SCB. Thank you. Thanks, Sir Hensha. So again, that's for me. I just make sure to save the situation and have a good, tight schedule and live a stoic life. Thank you. So the rest, what about si Ian? Ikaw, Ian, how do you deal with the pressures of being a leader?
I deal with pressure. I can see how I deal the pressure, but like how what made me become capable of dealing with pressure. First of all would be the experience. It's all about the failures and the success that I've gone through, which gave me the the ability to deal things in pressure. Because when you're in pressure, you become mind blocked. So the first thing I do is, what were the experience that I have gone through that is like similar. So I recall those experiences, and I I rationalize my options, and what I do is, and which option I make is the best thing that will happen. It's either present or future. So yeah.
Okay. So how about you, Paula? What may I ask, like, to like, how do you deal with the pressures of being a leader?
To me, I guess I can relate this to like working out. Like whenever you're working out, your muscles start to sore, but you still keep on continuing that workout because you have that goal. That for me is every time like I get stressed with all the classworks I have, all the council work, I always look forward and I focus on like what my vision is for the future. And for me, like as a leader, my vision is to make everyone happy. So like throughout all the pressure and stress, you have in order to overcome this like pressures, you should have like a vision for your future and like a goal for that. Because if you set a goal, like you know where you're going. Unlike if you don't have a goal, you just keep on having these pressures, and then you keep getting stressed, and then eventually you just want to give up. So basically for me is, as a leader, you have to stay in that road. You have to stay committed to that road, and you have to know what you're going for in the future. So
Okay.
So
Yes.
sana to Louis, our dear viewer, sana nasagot namin yung tanong mo, no? And if ever nape-pressure ka, good luck, ha? Relax lang, ha? Kakayanin mo rin yan.
Si
Ah,
Lucas sabi niya, focus on the goal. Si Ian, ang sabi niya is, um, ano to? Look at the past, yung mga victories niya, and that inspires him to deal with the current pressure na, oh, I've done this in the past, I've already overcome this pressure. And si Paulo naman is yung take the pain, di ba? It's part of the process. And mag-grow ka dun sa na yon, sa pain na yon, gaya nga sa gym, di ba? Sakit ng katawan pero nag-grow yung muscle natin. O sa akin talaga galing yan, no? Yeah. Okay. So yes. So thank you. We've learned so much from you, gentlemen, and I know your respective schools is in good hands because you are their student leaders, and I know from your answers we've seen your capability leading your school. So um, can you give your message to your community, your shout out, so your last words? Okay, so Paulo.
All right. First of all, I'd like to thank Lucas, Sir Linus, and Lance for having me as a guest in the FortiKast. And to all my Voyagers there, if you're watching, thank you so much. I would like to request everyone to please watch our Valorant stream in our page, Westbridge Student Council. And what else? Actually, shout out to my Lolo right now who's having his birthday. Happy birthday to you, Lolo. And shout out to my dog who peed in my bed yesterday, so that was really bad. And yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Ian.
So first of all, I would like to thank Lucas for this wonderful invitation for this wonderful podcast. Is this called a podcast?
Yeah.
Thank you also to Sir Linus and Sir Lance for moderating this little talk of ours. So yeah, it was really fun, and I wish you guys all the best, and to all the viewers, good luck guys. Good luck sa mga struggles niyo.
thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah. Lucas.
Lucas, ikaw, syempre, Lucas, shoutouts,
Right.
ano.
Ito nga, I would like to thank Ian and Paolo for joining me today as the panels. Thank you so much, guys. Ito nga, sabi ni Maya, congrats, dunkerists. So, sa mga dunkerists, kilala nila kung sino sila. Sorry, it's an inside joke between, so, malalaman nyo rin yan soon. Kasi, meron tayong part 2, guys. Ina-announce ko na yun. Ina-announce ko yan. Meron tayong part 2 of the Students and Leaders series. So, abangan nyo yun. Mangyayari na yun soon. And also for me, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. The question, are leaders born or made? I guess we'll never know. Sabi nga ni Kanye West. So thank you so much again for joining us today. Ingat kayo, guys. Never forget that better days are coming ahead, alright? Giginhawa din ang buhay. Ingat kayo.
Thank you, gentlemen. See you again. I hope. Okay.
Sana di talaga ako sanay kay Lucas na umaalis agad. But yeah, so yeah, that was our episode for today, talking about students and leaders. Are leaders born? Or so now we go to the closing remarks. So we thank you for joining us in today's episode. But before that, we want to announce something. Actually, after FortiKast, actually starting right now, we ended up a bit late. But after FortiKast, in a few minutes, Taka offers a doctrine class every 5 p.m. with Father Dan Estepa, our school chaplain. And from what I know, Sir Linus, the guest speaker for today is the moderator of Fortibus, right? Mr. Bugasi, right?
Yes.
Yes. So yun, so kapag close kayo kay Sir Linus, kay Sir Linus, kay Sir Burns, pwede ka pumunta dun mamaya. Or,
Hindi lang close. Everyone is invited to join this weekly.
Syempre naman.
Yes. Okay. And of
But
course, February na.
sorry, naglalagaw. Hello?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Naglalag ako, guys. Pasensya na yung internet namin. But yeah, just to close again, we thank you for joining us in today's episode. We hope you had a great time and you learned something new today. Virtus in Veritate, there is strength in virtue. See you in our next episodes. This has been the FortiKast online show. God bless and stay safe. Fortuna, Favet, Fortibus.
Bye,
Bye.
learners.